Okay, so I have the camera zoomed way in. Let's make sure we get hands. In fact, let me just get a couple braids in here and we'll see if we can just get going for a second, because she hasn't been braided in a long time. Okay. So I use these two fingers to pinch off my first section. Okay? And then I'll put my finger down and then use those two fingers to split the rest of the hair in half. Okay? And I'm always ribboning out the hair as best I can. And then I'm going to fold the hair down. And then fold the hair down. Now, I've noticed that I haven't made this step very clear. With your thumb on the braid, you're going to want to lift this up, this right section up as high as you can, and then slide it to the crest. That is what's going to keep your braid from twisting, is to get that first twist right up snug next to that crest, because then you can start your braid down and there won't be a pucker of loose hair at the top. Now, horses are always going to move their heads around a little bit, so you have to be able to be flexible and go with your horse. And since we're not, since we're not at a show, there's no big time crunch, and we're going to do a whole bunch of braids. So even though you probably cannot see very well, on this first one, you're going to see a whole bunch. Okay? Simple, simple knot, simple, simple process. And we don't want to complicate it by getting mad at our horse. So, see if we can do the next one, and she'll let us do a little teaching. Come on, sweetie. How are we doing? She'll settle down because she does understand this, but it's been a while. And she's got lots of stuff to play with. So it makes it a little harder. All right. So we want to ribbon our hair using our fingers, pinch off the first section, and then grab our second section. Ribbon it down, grab and fold your hair over, grab and fold your hair over, lift it up, slide that one in, put your thumb on that braid, and turn it down. You're always trying to fold the hair. So the bottom becomes the front, the bottom becomes the top. You don't just have the top always stay on top. You actually want to fold that hair, because the nice folding process gives you those nice, crisp, even plaits. You want them to look nice and crisp. I'm going a little quick, I know. Okay, I think the next one we'll be able to, I think the next one she'll let me. Got a couple braids in. There you go, sweetie. Now the thing that's really hard to do is learn to braid on a green horse. On a horse that hasn't had much experience at what you're doing. It's much easier for people to braid a steady eddy that has been braided a bunch of times. But everybody has to learn somewhere. So, we're going to pinch off the, easy baby, we're going to pinch off the hair. We're going to split this in half, fold, 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 slide it up, thumb on that braid, and then start your braid down. Now I try at the top to use my whole hand, my two fingers, as I do this, so that I don't make one finger or just my hand do the work. I'm turning with my whole arm. I reach under, grab, and twist and turn. Reach under and turn it over. And my thumb always goes on that braid to make sure that I don't let go and let a pucker start. So, here's where I'm going to try to show you. You want to be able to grab that yarn in your pinky. See how I have it held in my pinky? I'm going to take it and put it up in between the center and that right plait. And I'm going to lay it flat. Okay? Now, when I turn that first one down, there's one twist. Okay? Then I'm going to put my thumb on the braid, and I'm going to do a second twist. See how that yarn is right on top? I'm going to do my third twist. Now that piece has already come out, okay? And the second piece goes in between. Yes, I don't think you can see that. The second, start over again. Goes in, grab it, fold it down once, fold it down twice. It's right there on the front. Fold it down the third time. This one's out. This piece is a little difficult to see, but it goes in between the left side and the center. It's sitting right on the top. You don't have it mushed into the hair anywhere. It comes right out, and then you make your knot. So I'm going to go over that knot quick, the technique of doing that, and then we're going to continue. And see, these are really big braids. These are a little bigger than I like for a horse show, but they're good for practicing at home. Okay? I always want to ribbon that hair down. Divide it out, thumb and middle finger. And then I use the back of my pointer finger to keep the space. Now I've got my three pieces. Fold and fold and lift this up, slide it all the way in, thumb on the braid, and start braiding. Now, a lot of people already know how to braid. It's not really difficult to make a three-plait braid. The only thing that's difficult is to do it the same way all the time. So I'm going to use some white yarn here. I'm going to grab it in my finger, go right in between center and right on the top. I'm going to fold it down tight, fold it down. You can see it's right on the top face of that braid, and then fold it down. This piece is already out. This piece goes in between left and center. Now, you go over the top, and I use my pinky and my ring finger to hold that yarn. And I'll grab the yarn and swoop my fingers underneath. I'm still holding that. Okay? I reach through the D that's formed there, grab it, pull it through. Okay, you can see how it's not correctly in the right place. There you go. You just roll it down to the bottom, and there it is. All right? See, what we're doing is trying to establish a knot line. This first one's a tiny bit short, but don't worry. It's going to work out. This is the knot line that I'm talking about. You always want to try to make sure, rather than counting the twists, you look at this line, because the twists will lie. If that horse's neck gets thicker, thinner, or sometimes it'll go up and down, if you count your twists, you're always going to have the same amount of twists, but it's going to directly follow the neckline. And you don't want to directly follow the neckline. You want to make a knot line. Okay. Smooth it down. Break it off. Break it in half. Fold it down. And fold it down. Lift this one up out of the way. Slide it in. Thumb on the braid. Fold. And fold. And fold. And fold. And fold. And fold. That's how you do it. There's no big secret to making a braid. Okay? Now, you see this one plait? See how it's right above that knot line? That's how you tell you're there. Put your yarn in your pinky, in between the center and the right, fold it down once, snug it, thumb on the braid, fold it down again. See, there it is right on the top, and then fold it down again. This piece of yarn is out. This piece goes in between the other two. Pinky, ring finger, hold it, swoop it under, grab it, and tie your knot. Now, I'm forming tail ends here that are nice and feathered. Even though it's thick, it's a thick braid, it's still got a nice feather on it, and you don't see any bluntness at all. Okay? Now you can snug up that knot and pull it. Make sure that there's even tension on each one of your yarns so that that knot isn't tighter on one side than the other. If you've stressed one piece, breaking it later is a real pain because you have to start all over. All right? I'm going to cut that hair. I'm going to feather it, roll it down, split it off, put my pointer finger right down in between that hair to keep it from getting all messed back up. Thumb and forefinger, fold it down. Smooth it. See, I'm smoothing down with my left thumb, and I'm going to fold it down and then smooth it down with my right thumb. Put my finger on the braid, lift, and then slide that all the way up to the crest. Thumb on the braid, start folding down, folding down, folding down. And you start to get a little quicker at it the more you practice. If you think about your technique here, when you're learning to do this, making sure left hand does the same thing right hand does every time, you're always going to get a prettier braid because you're starting to get mechanized. Fold it down, snug it, thumb on the braid, fold it down. There's my yarn right on top. Snug it, thumb on the braid, fold it down. That piece is already out. This piece goes right in between, over, around, through, tie the knot. Okay. So, how do you think it's coming out? You think we can see it? I'm going to steal a little bit of your stool here. Okay. Gonna make my cut. Nice and straight across the top. Gonna flatten it out. Pinch it up. Middle finger and thumb. Point your finger straight down. Break off the last section in half. Fold it down. And hold it. Fold it down. Hold it. Lift it. Snug it up. Thumb on that braid. Fold it down. Fold it down. Fold it. Fold it. Okay, see how I can reach underneath with these two fingers and I can grab that hair and fold it? That when you're when you're using your hands like this, there's no slack in that braid. You don't give the hair any place to run to, because your braid will run up and down sometimes if you're not careful. I'm going to grab it in my pinky here. I'm going to slide it right in between. I'm going to grab it and fold it down. Okay? Thumb on the braid. Oops. Fold it.